Hey guys, how you doing? In this video, we're going to show you when you're running comps how to evaluate what school zone a property is in. Why is that important? Well, in Houston, you're really going to see when you run that school zone map that when you're checking out a comp, a property on one side of the subdivision to maybe the subdivision next to it might be zoned to a different school. And that's going to be very important for a buyer to make their decision, right? So if you had a school and a property in one area and the schools are exponentially better than the one across in the other subdivision or even sometimes across the street, well, obviously the one in the better school section is going to be of higher value. So in buyers, one of their criteria is very often what schools are they zoned to. So if you're comparing apples for apples when you're running your comps and the two properties that you're using or all the properties that you're using in the better school division, well, they're not really a true comparable, right? It's one of the variables and one of the factors that's very important to know. If we're saying the value of a property is X amount, well, that has to be very similar to our subject property. And one of those big factors is the school zones. So you should be getting very familiar with Matrix, with the MLS, and with HAR. This is what we use here at Rightway. If you're watching from a different market, you're going to have to find a realtor to find out what school zones they are. We also cover a website that we use called greatschools.org, and it's a way not only to find what subdivision or what school zone that's zoned in from Matrix, but also to plug that into greatschools.org and find out what those schools are rated. So you can really see, right? Maybe you're comping a property that's in a different school zone, but your value is derived from the fact that those school zones are actually a lot better than the ones that you've been comping. So it can be a positive and negative, but it's always good to know everything about your subject property and to make sure that it's in the same zone and that the schools in that zone are good, right? It can be a unique selling point when we push it to the buyer that all these schools in our area are highly rated, right? There might be a 7 or 8 or 9 out of 10 for the elementary or the middle school or the high school. So definitely keep in mind. Hope you find this useful.
Guys, in this video, we're going to just touch base quickly on school districts. It's just one of the major components when you're running comps. You want to be careful that you're not giving somebody a value in one school district, but yours is actually in another, right? So there's a number of ways to do this. One way is when you're in Matrix. You're coming to maps, right? Just like the flood zone and all your layers. Let's delete this out. All right. You're coming to your boundaries, right? So you have these listed. Your boundaries. This is how you find a flood zone. This is going to break down all your flood zones for you. But you can also click your school districts. This is going to give you a good indication where your school districts are, right? So it's breaking them down into these zones, right? You can narrow those down. Let's do just the elementary schools. And you can see how you really have to pay attention because school zones can have a big factor on the what people are willing to pay for rent or to buy because they want their child to be in a certain school. A lot of schools are better than others, right? They have different ratings. Some people are moving to an area, the purpose of them moving to that area is to be in that certain school zone. So if you're sending a property, let's say here, right? This is to Gardens Elementary School, and this is 1400, but then these over here, these are a different school zone. And look at the proximity. In some areas, it's just a street, right? From here to here, those are two different school zones. So this is just going to tell you the boundary that it's in, right? And what you would be zoned to. If you need to figure out the quality of that school, so let's say you have all your comps here, and you really want to see if this school is better than this school, then there is a service called greatschools.org. And you're going to put your address here. And this is going to tell you the ratings of the school. These are your assigned schools. So you're assigned to Red Bluff. This is a pretty good school. 7 out of 10. It's above average. But this assigned school here, San Jacinto, right, is below average. Pasadena High School, Fairmont Elementary School, right? So you're looking at which school you're assigned to from your tax roll, and then you can check the ratings here. Now let's pull a property. So let's look at elementary schools, right? Red Bluff with this one. Well, this is Pasadena. Pasadena is generally fairly decent rated schools, but you can also find schools which are pretty poor. So this is your assigned school here. So Red Bluff Elementary. This is your intermediate school. This one's not a good rating. And these are the ones it's showing you that you're assigned to. So elementary looks pretty good. Your intermediate and your high school are not so great. Let's put in a different address now. Let's put in that first school, that first comp that we ran, and you're going to see the ones that you're assigned to here. So intermediate is a 6 out of 10. Elementary is very good. It's a 9 out of 10. And your high school is average, 6 out of 10. So these kind of don't give a true representation of how schools on some of them. You're going to see that one section has very good schools, and the other section is, average or below average. So I would always check the schools on every property. This is for rentals and for your ARV comps, because they can also be a unique selling point that we can send to the investors. If your house is situated where you have all your assigned schools are above average, that's definitely something you're gonna be letting them know, right? Because when they go to sell that property retail, it's definitely something your end buyer could be looking for, or for rent, it could be what the renter is looking for. They want to move to that area specifically because it has very good schools for their kids. Again, you can look on the MLS via your boundaries. It's going to tell you where you're located. You can just choose which one you're doing. Middle school, high school. That's gonna tell you where you sit and where you're at. So Pasadena High School. This is all the zoning, and then you can run over to Great Schools. .org, and you can see if those schools are rated highly, and then you can kind of see how close the boundaries get on some of these, from here to here, from here to here, right? And see if there's a big difference in the quality of schools to Deepwater and the quality of schools to Red Bluff.
Hey, what's up guys? Joe Davis here from Right Way Home Solutions. Thank you for watching our latest video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Also press the bell, get the notifications for all future videos. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, or jump over to our website, jvtherightway.com. We have some great stuff on there. And if you have any questions relating to this video or this topic, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. I can jump on and answer any questions, or one of our team members here at Right Way can answer any questions that you might have related to this topic. So thanks, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.